So welcome back. Today we're in Bournemouth and I'm going to be showing you and talking you through this outdoor kitchen, shelter and patio that we have recently completed for this customer. So when we first arrived on site here, none of this was here. We had a lawn here. We had just the lawn actually extended up to the fence at the back. There was a small little patio in the corner over there, and there was actually a pergola as well. And so what we did, we brought all of the diggers, the dumpers in here. We dug it all out to start creating this beautiful outside space for these customers. So what we actually did on this job was on day one, I started filming and we did some time lapses and things like that. So what we'll do is we will go back to day one now and we'll show you the process from when we started. So a quick update for you. Today is day 2 on site. Yesterday we dug all of this out here. We've dug this down about 100 mil. And so you can see now that we've got the weed membrane has gone down and we're bringing all the type 1, the scalpings. So we're going to have scalpings all the way along here. That's all going to be whacked down with the compactor. We've got our timber posts going in because we've got a 6 meter by 4 meter shelter going in. So the posts are getting ready to be concreted in. The kitchen itself is going to be an L shape in that corner there. And it's going to be a porcelain slabbed patio all the way across. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have all of the scalpings, the type 1, all down, compacted, ready for the patio. And we'll have these timber posts in as well. So we'll check back in tomorrow. Now that all the posts are in and we've started putting the porcelain tiles down. So these are 600 by 600 porcelain tiles. We're using a 7 mil spacer in between. So it's going down on a bed of sand and cement with a slurry mix on the back. So this whole area is going to have porcelain tiles down, and it runs, there's a slight run from the back to the front here. We have, because this is level across here, we have got a bit of a step here. So I think we're going to cut some slices and put those underneath there to create a nice little step. And I think that should finish it off nicely. Let's talk about the patio first. So you would have seen that being laid earlier on. You saw the process that went into preparing the ground before the patio went down. So these are 600 by 600 porcelain tiles, porcelain slabs. They're like, I can't remember the exact color of them, but they're like a light gray color. They look really modern, really contemporary. And then, you know, we've got maybe a 7-8 mil grout lines running all the way through. We use something called an easy joint for the jointing. It's very easy. It's like it comes as like a sandy powder form. You can brush it into the joints. You can sprinkle it with water, and it goes off rock hard. It's a really good and effective way of pointing your tiles. So porcelain tiles, really hard, brilliant for outdoors. On some of our previous kitchens, we've actually used them as worktops as well. They work really well for that because they are so hard wearing and they're so resistant to UV rays and the UK weather. So you see the patio is now down. You can see that it looks fantastic. So another thing that you would have seen in the time lapse before would have been this shelter. So you saw the posts go in before. We've got the 6 posts over there, and then what we've done is created a ring beam all the way around them, and then we have infilled that with some 6x2 joists running front to back there. So we've got a slight fall on this shelter, so it's a lot higher here than it is at the back there. We've put ply on the top, a WBP ply, and then you've got a rubber membrane on the top of that, so the whole shelter is completely waterproof. What we have then done is use these timber battens, and these are all just treated timbers. You can buy these from any timbers merchants, B&Q, anywhere like that. We've just done this slatted effect, which you may have seen in other jobs before. It looks really, really cool. It gives that that sort of that privacy, and it gives you that sort of enclosed feeling. So it's a little bit more like snug, if you like. You know, when you sat here in the evenings, you've got your heater on, it makes you feel like you're actually in a room. So I'll just talk you through the electrics on this one as well. I don't often talk about electrics. It's not an exciting subject. But anyway, so for this one, what we've got is we have got up here, we've got a single socket up here. Now, what the customer has done is they've plugged in all these festoon lights up here. So they look really cool. In the evenings, you come down, you turn this on, it looks really, really cool. Here, we've got a heater as well, so you can see that the customers have got these beautiful outdoor sofa, chairs and tables, and they've got a heater up there. So, you know, when it does get colder in the evenings, you can turn that on, you can stay out here all night, stay nice and warm. So again, we've got another single socket up there, which powers that. When you come over to here, this is just a single outdoor switch. So you turn this on, and that turns on these spotlights here. So what that's going to do is give you light when you're cooking. It lights up all of the work surfaces here and here. It gives you lights on all of the work surfaces there. Here we've got a double socket here, so this is just for anything you want. You might want to put your music on, have your phone on charge. That's over there. And then over here we've got another single socket as well. So the customer has actually got some other fairy lights plugged into that. The reason we normally put one of these next to the Kamado ovens is if you're going to use a rotisserie. If you need power to plug your rotisserie in or something like that, it's always handy to have a socket near that, and the same applies for gas barbecues as well. You know, if you've got a Napoleon or a Beefeater grill and you are going to have a rotisserie, you need to have a socket nearby. Okay, so let's talk you through the kitchen build now and how we built that. So this, again, was made using concrete blocks, very simple, L-shape. This is like your classic L-shape layout. And we build it using concrete blocks, and then we use a monocouche render. So monocouche render is a colored render. It goes on in one coat. You don't have to paint it. It's very hard wearing. There's zero maintenance. It's a really, really good product. We use these on a lot of our kitchens. So on our worktops here, we've got a 20 mil polished granite. This one is. So granite we always recommend for outdoors as like your go-to work surface. You can have polished ones, you can have honed ones, you can have leathery finished ones. There's a huge variety of choice out there when it comes to the worktops, but granite is always, you know, your first stop. Coming on to the appliances then, we have got our Monolith Classic here. Love these, huge fan of these. A really, really amazing piece of kit. So this is a slow cooker, it's a barbecue, it's a pizza oven, it's a searing station. I have done a review on one of these. I will leave a link up here if you want to go and have a look at that. If you're interested in a Monolith, you want to know what it can do, then go and check that out over there. Coming over to here, this is a Beefeater pull-out bin. So you just pull that out there. It's actually a gas tank drawer as well. So you can put your, if you were to have like a gas barbecue or something, you can keep your tank in there. But to be honest, we've never used one for a gas tank. We always use them for bins because they work really, really well. That goes in there. You can see the customer's got some offcuts of granite there. You don't really need boards there for granite when you've got granite. I mean, you can put hot things straight onto this. Maybe it's just for the look or something. Anyway, coming over to here, we have got an Alfresco chef pizza oven. I don't know much about these ones, but this is a huge oven, and I remember lifting it in. Actually, it's really, really heavy. Tons of space in there, loads and loads of space, so you can probably cook about 2 pizzas at a time in there. This is a similar size to the Alpha 5 Minuti that we do. You may have seen some of those on our previous jobs. Underneath here you've got wood storage. I love doing this, having the pizza oven in the corner, especially if you've got a pizza oven this size. It's great to have it in the corner because you get that extra bit of space behind it, so you can have a bigger oven. And having a wood store underneath not only looks good, but it's practical as well because you can use the wood from there for your pizza oven. So that's really good. Over here, the customer, and it's not often we do this, the customer wanted 2 side burners next to each other. I think they were cooking a lot of like risottos and things like that, maybe stir fries. So that's really good that they got those. And then underneath here, you've simply got your stainless steel double doors, which has your gas tanks in there, and also any storage as well. So there you go. What do you think about that kitchen? Or this complete garden transformation? We've taken literally a piece of lawn and turned it into a really usable, exciting outdoor space. And chatting to the customer earlier, they have been using this all summer. They really, really enjoyed it. They spend a lot of time out here, and they were saying they're going to be spending Christmas out here as well. So I love to hear things like that. It's great that they're making the use of it. I hope you've enjoyed this kitchen build and this video. If you want to see another one like that, I'll leave a link up here to another video. If you're looking for inspiration, if you're thinking of having an outdoor kitchen, go over there and check that out. There's some great ideas on there. We do also have an Instagram and a Facebook account. We try and post a couple of weeks on there, a couple of times a week on there, showing you what we're currently up to, lots of pictures, stories and things like that. So thanks very much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.